Hey guys, welcome to my Rocky 2 review. Before we get started, you might be asking yourself, why am I starting with Rocky 2? Rocky was already reviewed over on Jack's channel of stuff. This is my buddy Jack, he's a movie reviewer. We decided to cover all the Rocky films leading up to Creed that's going to be coming out in the next couple months. Please go over to Jack's channel of stuff. Check out our Rocky review over on his channel just to be up to date with what we're going to be reviewing. Also, before we get started, I wanted to give a spoiler alert. We're going to be talking about Rocky and Rocky 2, so you've been warned. We're going to go ahead and start over with Jack. Jack, take it away. I'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
Hey Patrick, thanks for letting me be on your channel today to talk about Rocky 2, and I'm pretty excited to talk about this one. Now, I enjoyed the first Rocky film, but Rocky 2 for me, I gotta say it right now, I thought Rocky 2 was actually better than Rocky 1. I'm gonna keep my review as short and sweet as I possibly can because there's only a few things I want to say about Rocky 2, but they're few really important things. The overall praise I want to give this film is that it is more emotionally involved than the first Rocky film was. Starting out with this, for the first half of the film, you really feel sorry for Rocky. Even though he's got his money from the last boxing match and he spends it all on a new house and all this stuff for his wife, he's trying to get a job and he can't get one because he has no qualifications. He's just really desperate to get some money to support him and his wife, and he just really feels sorry for the guy. And his struggle and dilemma on whether or not he should go back to the boxing ring makes you care about him even more than you did in the first film, at least I think it did. So halfway through the film, you do want Rocky to win the boxing match because you want him to get the money, but then something happens about just over halfway through the film that just elevates that even more. And that's when Rocky's wife Adrian goes into a coma and delivers his baby. First off, it gets really emotional when Rocky comes in and he's like tearing up, he's starting to cry, he's like really sad that Adrian's gone into the coma, and that's some really emotional stuff. Really good acting there from Sylvester Stallone, I'll say that right now. And then there's the moment when Adrian awakes from her coma and she tells Rocky, win. That followed by that really awesome and classic Rocky montage of him running through the streets of Philadelphia, all the school children running behind him, and that awesome Rocky theme song. Those few minutes are just so punch the air uplifting, and it just elevates the film even more, and you now want Rocky to win that boxing match more than you did before. And then of course comes the final boxing match again between Rocky and Apollo Creed, and in my opinion it's even better than the first film's boxing match with the same characters. And that's simply because now Rocky has more to fight for. He's got his wife at home, he's got his kid at home, and you want him to fight and get the money so he can support the house and support the wife and the child. It just adds more intensity and more of your investment into the fight. At least it did for me anyway. I cared more about this boxing match than I did in the boxing match in the first film. So I gotta take my hat off to Sylvester Stallone for being a great talent both in front of the camera and behind the camera, and delivering us what I personally think is a sequel that outdid the original. I might be in the minority in that one, but I do think Rocky 2 is better than Rocky 1. It just adds so much more emotional investment and just so much more great punch the air moments, and I gotta say, I'm just gonna go out and give Rocky 2 full marks, 5 out of 5. So thanks again Patrick for letting me be on your channel and letting me just go off about Rocky 2 because I just loved it so much. I thought it was a really great sequel. So thanks again Patrick, and I'll see you at the Rocky 3 review.
Thanks so much, Jack. Hey everybody, welcome back. Picking up after the ending of the first Rocky film, we find Rocky and Creed being admitted to the hospital to have their wounds fixed up. Rocky's now retiring. Creed, if you remember from the first fight, made very clearly,
Ain't gonna be no rematch. Ain't gonna be no rematch.
and what's the first thing out of his mouth when he gets into the hospital with the press?
And I can beat that chump. I'll fight him any place, anytime.
Obviously, he feels humiliated and beaten. He hates how the fight went down, so he demands to have a rematch with Rocky. But Rocky's retired. The only thing that he can think of to really get him out of retirement is to start to humiliate him. So getting out of the hospital, Rocky's starting to realize he has a lot of fame. There's people asking for commercial promotions, toy lines, but the only thing he's really thinking about at this point is Adrian. He takes Adrian to a zoo and he proposes to her. After a little time of Rocky and Adrian moving into their new place and just being happy, Adrian finds out she's pregnant. That's wonderful news. It's great. Rocky can't even contain himself. While at the same time, he's realizing now that he needs to start finding a job that can financially provide for both of them and this new baby. The only route he really has at this point is taking Paulie's job. Unfortunately, meatpacking doesn't even work well for Rocky, and he's laid off from that job. At this point, he feels like he has no options left. So what does he need to start looking into again? Maybe coming out of retirement. Adrian, of course, is completely not okay with this, so she takes up a job while being pregnant and helps him to try to learn some more stuff so maybe he can get a better job. Also, Creed is just bashing him on the media. He's saying anything he can. Without Adrian's consent, Rocky still decides that he wants to go and start boxing and training with Mickey, and Mickey is seeing through all of this beginning trainings that he's so weak He doesn't want to do anything hard. He doesn't have high octane blood going through his streams. It doesn't seem like he wants it. All of this comes to a climax when Adrian ends up being put into the hospital, where she delivers the baby prematurely and is also in that process put into a coma. Now at this point, Rocky's just a mess. He doesn't want anything to do with anything. He just wants to be with his wife and hold her hand. After Mickey talking him through a couple things to help him, basically, Adrian wakes up and Adrian decides that it's time for him to fight. Not only to fight, but Adrian wants him to win. And that is the motivation Rocky needs to go and beat Apollo Creed. Now this is where we get into the same kind of training montage as the first film. But with this one, it's a little bit different because it's a little bit funnier to me. Honestly, the kid's running with him. I didn't get it. At the first, when he starts to run, it's like, oh, okay. They're doing the montage, that's pretty cool. Then a couple more kids start following him. It's like, okay, I guess I can follow with that. And then it starts panning over and there's just way more kids. And then towards the end, when he's climbing up the steps, he is followed by literally 800 kids behind him just charging. And I didn't understand why that needed to be in there, why it needed to be kids that were running with him. I ended up laughing during it. The montage was good still, but at that point it was just like, this is ridiculous. So after the training montage, it tells you that he's ready to go. We get into this fight. Now, I'm not going to tell you anything about this fight between Apollo Creed and Rocky because, in my opinion, this is the best fight of the entire franchise. This is by far one of the best aspects of this movie. The fight between Apollo Creed and Rocky is so much more emotional because there's so much more to lose. In this one, they both have something to prove. They both are working at their top game. It's one of the best fights in film I have ever seen, and definitely the best fight in the Rocky franchise. Some of the things that I liked and didn't like about the movie were, one, Rocky, great character development. I love the acting done. I think the writing was pretty well done in this, and some of the shots in this film are a lot better. But the golden geese in this entire film is definitely the end fight, and the build-up from the beginning to that fight is what's going to make you want to watch this movie. While Sylvester Stallone's character was fleshed out a little bit more, there's a lot more character development with him. I felt the side characters should have had a little bit more, particularly Apollo Creed, as well as Paulie. I mean, at this point, Paulie just kind of annoys me. Whenever he shows up in the film, I just want him to go away. Guys, if you like boxing films and you've seen the first Rocky, you definitely need to check out Rocky 2. I had a great time watching it, and I'm going to give Rocky 2 an 8 out of 10. Once again, Jack, thank you so much for being on my channel and agreeing to do this collaboration with me. Guys, please go to Jack's channel and subscribe to him. There's a link down below. Be sure to click it. Go to his channel, watch the Rocky review that we did together. Make sure that you subscribe over there to get the next Rocky review. He's a great reviewer. He deserves your subscriptions. Check him out. Alright guys, what did you think of Rocky? What's one of your favorite Rocky movies that's come out? Please tell me your comments down below. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And Jack, I will see you at the next review.